So, you've just booted up Cyberpunk 2077 for the first time, and wow, in the first 10-15 minutes the game just feels very overwhelming. So much to know, so much to see, where to start. And today we are going to try and answer that question and try and give you some tips and tricks to get you started in the game, give you a better understanding and set you up as a strong character for the whole experience. I'm gaming for XP. Let's do this! So, as you may have gathered in the intro, Cyberpunk 2077 is a huge game. It's got a huge amount of complexity, a lot of depth to what you can do with the characters, how you can interact with the environment, what you can grab, lots and lots and lots of things to get your head around, but it actually doesn't need to be that complicated. You can get into the game pretty quickly and have a fantastic time, and just with a few careful considerations, a few tips, and let's talk to you about those today, and hopefully it gives you a much more immersive and better experience rather than stressing about how complicated everything is and things that you just don't understand and what's this for, what's that for. I'm going to give you some focus areas for you to think about, and let me know in the comments whether it makes a difference to you. So many of the things I'm going to talk about today also have some videos for you to investigate further, which I will reference to during this video. So if you want to learn more about certain subjects, if I've got a video on it, I will reference it for you and you can call and have a look at it. So the first and very most important thing that you need to do once you've made it to V's apartment, which is pretty early on in the game, is, or when you get a little bit of time, go to your character. So go to your menus, go to your character, and I would suggest you just sit and go through each of these, read the descriptions that it gives you, understand what each of these do, and start to make a determination on what kind of character you actually want to build. So this is my street kid build. You can see we're only at level 2, 3 street cred, so I haven't really done a heck of a lot with this, but my suggestion here is click in, see what each of these attributes actually has as far as crafting, engineering, handguns, whatever it might be, and then start to build your character around it. So to give you a couple of examples, if you think you want to go with ballistic weapons like assault rifles, sniper rifles, handguns, etc., start investing in reflexes, and you will get some bonuses for doing that. Crit chances, increased damage with blades and stuff like that. If, however, you want to do, say, a melee build, then you might want to invest a little bit more in body. You can see the street brawler, etc., etc. So I would suggest that you just take some time to go through this. Obviously you can build a stealthy character by investing in cool. So just take a little bit of time, think about what kind of playstyle you want to adopt in the game, and understand where you've got to put your points. So I do have a video that explains this in a little bit more depth called character creation, things to consider. I'd suggest that you check that video out if you want to learn a little bit more. We've got a lot of things to get through it in this video, so we'll just keep going for now. The next thing I'd advise you to do is get out into the world early. So I'll bring up the map for you, just explain the map, and then I'll explain why it's important to get out and see Watson. I would ignore the main storyline completely. Once you get to your apartment, completely ignore your main storyline and go into Watson. And Watson is this one here. Everything else is locked down at this point until you do the quest called the heist. So everything's locked down. You can only play in Watson. So my suggestion is get out and about and start unlocking things. So when you're out and about, it'll start to unlock the fast travel points. It'll start to unlock things like these jobs, and you can see there's lots of question marks and all kinds of stuff that need unlocking there. And basically, if you get out into the city and start roaming around, all this stuff will start unlocking. Now, let's talk a little bit about the map for a second. So you can zoom out, you can zoom in. It's pretty self-explanatory, and when you first start the game, you can see there's kind of things all over the map. So if you look up in the top left-hand corner there is 2 things for you to do. Didn't want to do that. We'll go back into the map in a second. There's 2 filters there that you can use. So if you press up on the D-pad, this is an Xbox One, so it'll be different on each system, I'm sure. It'll bring up the legend, so it'll explain what each of these things are. Okay. So press it up again and it'll get rid of that legend. If you want to filter these, I'll just pull out a little bit. If you want to filter these, I'll press left on my D-pad and it'll start to only show the drop points, the service points. So service points are things like clothes shops, ripper docks, gun shops, that kind of stuff. Show the fast travel points, and I'll come to the fast travel in a second. Show the open world, so it shows all kinds of things like these assaults in progress. And I would encourage you to go around and do these assaults in progress out in the world. This is how you'll get street cred, this is how you're going to get money, etc. And then it's going to show you the jobs that are available in Watson. So there's quite a few jobs, and again I would suggest that you do these jobs as well and you'll get money from them. So zoom back in, and then that shows you everything that's available. Now this will fill up, and you can see already, even though you haven't got access to other parts of the map, there's already stuff down there for you to do. So get out into your environment, start having a good look around, ignore the main storyline for a wee bit. Now, I want to go back to fast travel for a second. So I'll show you the fast travel point outside our main building in a minute, but you can see that's highlighted, by the way. That's the main storyline that you've got, and we'll get into jobs in a minute and stuff. So fast travel points, you can see there's not many fast travel points on the map, and that's because I've only moved around in this part of the map so far. That's why it's important to get out and drive around or walk around in the city, because it will start to unlock each of these points. And then once you unlock each of these points, it'll make life so much easier when you have to go back and forward when you're doing quests and whatnot. So fast travel system's pretty simple to get your head around. Find a fast travel point. So this is V's apartment. Simply walk outside. We shut the door. Walk outside. Walk straight forward. Turn to your right, and there's a fast travel point right there. And just to activate this fast travel point, select, and then you'll see all those points on the map, and you can select to travel wherever you like on the map. By just clicking like that. So one little trick with the fast travel system, you're going to see already we've got a job, see? So again, I've ended up at this fast travel point. There is a cyber psycho attack right there, straight across the road. I know this because I've already done it on my other character. So straight away by moving around the city you're going to get jobs. Now what I was going to say is there is a little bit of a trick to the fast travel, especially when this whole map starts to fill up. Sometimes these fast travel points are not where you think they are, and sometimes you'll try and click on them and you can't actually grab them. The trick to doing this is to zoom in. So you can see when you look at the high level view, looks like there's 3 fairly close together there, but when you zoom in, they are quite far apart. So if there's a specific fast travel point that you're trying to grab, make sure that you zoom in and you'll be able to grab the one you want. So this next tip is, I know a number of you like to walk around your environment. It doesn't really matter. Drive around the environment. This map's absolutely huge, so I'd suggest as quick as possible, grab a vehicle and just start heading out and driving around. It will start unlocking all kinds of stuff. Now, my suggestion is use a motorbike, because the cars in this game are difficult to say the least. So if you're unsure how to call your vehicle, you'll see down in the bottom left there's a couple of icons, and it shows you with your D-pad. You press to your right and it should bring, press and hold with your right, it should bring up this car very early in the game that Jackie gives you. You will have a list as the game goes on. Select which vehicle you want, confirm, and the vehicle will come to you. Basically, here it comes now. Now, if you don't have a vehicle but for whatever reason, you can simply go and grab one. So take control like that. There you go, you have a car. Very simple. Or if that doesn't work for you because you have to invest points, just bring out a gun and shoot the door once. Look, there you go, you have a car.
Hey, watch.
So very simple to get a car in this game. Yeah, I know, I get very happy. Anyway, there we go, we have a car. And yeah, just drive around and see what happens. It's real fun. You'll come across incidents in progress. You know, fight some enemies, loot the heck at them, grab what they've got and move on, and you'll eventually open up the entire map of Watson. You'll start accruing perk points, you'll start accruing money, etc. So real fun to do, and I've had a lot of fun. You'll find all kinds of stuff. You can find legendary items, and I have got a guide on how to find a number of legendary items in Watson. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, please check a couple of those out. But yeah, no, it's just cool fun, and I've just found that the motorbikes in this game are a lot easier to handle and navigate than the cars. So we've gone out into the environment, we've walked around and drove around for a bit, and yeah, what will start to happen is that you're going to start to get a whole list of things to do, and you can see there's quite a bit to do. So if you need a car, there's going to be so many opportunities to buy a car, and each of these are an opportunity to buy a car. I don't think you need a car, you're going to get free stuff anyway. So let's just talk you through each of these sections here. So main jobs are obviously the main quest line. I've only got one at this point. This is my other character now. Side jobs in the various parts of the city. Now, as you're beginning, you want to pick the ones in Watson. I would suggest that you're picking the ones that are low, very low, or moderate. Don't go after the high ones, very high there. I wouldn't go after those early in the game. Yeah, you'll get frustrated with the game and you just die over and over again. You also have gigs, and these come from a number of people that will just give you jobs as you're walking around in the city, as you saw with Regina when we're at the fast travel. There's all kinds of stuff that will start to pop up, that you can do, and again, their danger level is from very low to very high. Early in the game, you just want to go. The highest you should go is moderate. You can try the high ones, but you'll probably get absolutely cleaned up. You have these, what they call NCPD scanner hassles, and we'll show you that one. Those are the ones that are marked in blue. So these kind of things. Salt in progress. There's another one over here. Suspected organised crime. Those ones that are in that kind of blue colour. That's what those are. So the side jobs are marked as those, as these kind of exclamation points on the map, all over the place. If you just hover your cursor over them, it'll tell you what it is, what it actually is. And so to activate them, just click on it, click on the track job, and then it should show up and highlight on the map. And it should change. There we go, it's way over there. So you can see it's now got that like hexagon look about it, so that's how you know it's the active job. Whatever it might be. To get rid of that, just click on something else and it will replace it. So you get the scanners, and then you've got what is called rides, and this is basically just cars or bikes or whatever that you can buy. It would have been nice to have like a photo in there of these. These will come a little bit later on, and you get a ton of these. So, and then of course you've got all your completed jobs, which there is a ton. So there's a lot to do. My suggestion is just to get out and do some of these gig side jobs and the NCPD scanner hassles. So as far as getting into scraps and weapons and stuff, I would suggest try everything you can get your hands on and find what works for you as far as weapons go. Key to killing enemies is headshots. The more headshots you can get, the better. But just play around with various weapons, find what's going to work for you. Grenades are going to be your friend, and you can pick them up all over the place. You're going to have to do a bit of bobbing weaving in this game. The combats takes a bit of getting used to. Yeah, it didn't last long. This is my level 2 character, so I haven't got a lot of good weapons yet. If you want a guide on that, I do have a legendary weapons guide already up. You want to get some legendary weapons early in the game. But yeah, use cover to your advantage, use grenades, heal up regular, keep an eye on your health. You will get health all over the place, so you don't have to worry about it. Grenades are pretty easy to find. Study the grenades you want, and yeah, just go for it. Once you've got a weapon that you like, you can of course upgrade it. And if you don't know how to do that, I do have a guide on how to upgrade and craft weapons. Don't be scared to rush your enemies. There we go, like that. And yeah, just have a lot of fun. This is the fun part of the game. This is in fact one of these NCPD crimes in progress thing. I think I've stunned her or him. If you want a more hands-off approach, a more ranged approach, assault rifles and sniper rifles are the way to go. If you want to get in a close and personal, of course, handguns and shotguns, blades, mantis blades, all kinds of stuff. Katanas. Katana is real fun in this game. So yeah, just have some fun with the game. So you finished getting a stash. You've killed all your enemies. Loot absolutely everything you can get your hands on, and The scanner is going to be your friend here. Now, if you haven't been to Vic and got your Kiroshi Optic Mark 1, which is part of the main storyline, you do that with Jackie very, very early on after you arrive at the apartment. I suggest you do that straight away, and it will make life a lot easier. But the scanner ability is going to be your friend in the environment, and I've got to tell you something I didn't pick up on early on when I was playing the game, and I'm sure I missed so much loot. Loot is very important. We're going to cover that in a second, but make sure that you are scanning everything once you clear a place. Pick up absolutely everything early in the game because it is going to be hugely useful for you. So we've been out in the environment, we've been doing a whole lot of side jobs, and we've accrued a whole lot of things in our backpack. Let me just show you what we've got. So we've got a whole lot of weapons, melee weapons, all kinds of stuff that we've picked up. There we go. There's all kinds of stuff. New clothes, all kinds of stuff that we need to update and have a look at. So, okay, what do we do with this lot? Do we sell it or do we scrap it? Now, here's my guide. Here's what I would do early in the game. Up to you what your strategy is with the game, whether you want to buy new weapons or whether you want to build weapons that you like or upgrade them. So you have the option, for instance, I've got this Copperhead, D5 Copperhead. I like that. You can see it's equipped by that little kind of blue thing in the bottom right hand corner. I also have the Overture. So if I want to upgrade those guns, I'll have to get components. So let's just hop over into the crafting menu for a minute. So the crafting menu you have there and there. I do have a guide on how this all works. So if you want to see more about this, hop over into that tutorial and it'll explain it all. But you can also upgrade. And so if I highlight here, for instance, the Copperhead, you can see what it requires to upgrade it, the components it requires to upgrade it, and you can see then if I upgrade it, how much damage increase I get, how many DPS, etc. Likewise with the Overture, if I want to do that, again, I need a few more components there, and also to upgrade this to the next level, I have to be at a certain level. When it says that about your level, this of course it goes back to your character tree, technical abilities, crafting. So that's about putting attribute points in there to be able to upgrade certain things. So okay, so how do I get components to start upgrading some of this stuff? Well, this is where you have to basically ask yourself what kind of strategy you want to employ with the game. So you can either sell these and get money and get eddies, or you can see when you hover over those, down in the bottom there it says Y, hold Y to disassemble. So I can actually disassemble this. And if you have a look up in that one, when I'm hovering over this particular gun, you can see up in that top left, it'll tell you what components you're going to get from each gun. So the higher level the gun, the more components you're going to get, and the more different mix of components you're going to get. Of course, you can buy these components from the gun shop or various vendors, but why spend money when you can actually just break down these items like that? The other thing that you do need to understand is that certain consumables will also break down. Not all of them. And how you know they'll break down is just hover over them and you'll get that disassemble item, and you'll get an indication again in that top left of what components you're going to get by disassembling. I would suggest that you do this with your consumables instead of selling them. And I've got a whole video on why to do that, because you can make money very, very quickly by doing this. and then building weapons, because one of the things that you can do is, so we'll go back to crafting. You can actually start to build weapons, and you can see if I build a number of these weapons and sell them, I'm going to get $24 per gun. If I pick the sniper, for instance, that goes up to 81. So by grabbing components, and if you want to get a much more in-depth explanation of this, watch the video on crafting, on making money quickly, from consumables, and the crafting video, and you'll get your head around all of that. But yeah, I'd suggest that you balance this out between how much money you want and what you want to use money for, and you'll get money all over the place. You can make money easily in this game, very, very easily. So don't worry too much about that. I'd be scrapping anything that's white straight away. I'd be evaluating anything that's green and seeing if it's better than what you have. If it's not better than what you have, just scrap it. Because yeah, once you get very early on, once you get a gun that you like, I'd stick with it for a little while until you're able to get further into the game and get better and better weapons. So, yep, scrap away. So there you go, guys. That is a bit of a longer video today than normal, but it is a beginner's guide. There's lots of things to get your head around. Hopefully I've explained a number of those and given you a few things to think about. As I said at the start of the video, we have a whole lot of tutorials and game guides that go into depth with various parts of this beginner's guide. So if you want to learn more, please go and have a look at those, and they should help you. Hopefully I'll leave a list down below in the comments so that you can find those easily. If it did help, please let me know in the comments. I really would like to know if these game guides help you with the game. You'll have a lot of fun with this game. There's a lot to get your head around, and early on it can be a bit overwhelming, so hopefully that's all helped. And a like rating is always appreciated if you want to keep up to date with all the tutorials on Cyberpunk. There is a heap more coming, and we will catch you next time on Gaming for XP. See ya.